Alright guys, so today we're going to be going over the September 12th weapon cost reduction patch. So all the weapons in the game are getting some type of cost reduction, whether it's big or small. Even all the PvP weapons and even the Grand Celestial weapon that just got released, the endgame weapon. So everything's getting some type of cost reduction, which is great. Just wanted to go over it with you guys, talk about some of the bigger cost reductions. I'll leave a link in the description for the Google Docs page, which has the full list of all the cost reductions. So if you really want to go over every single detail, or maybe there's some type of weapon that I didn't cover that you wanted to really look at, you can just click the link and check it out for yourself, because there's a lot of info on that. Anyways, let's jump into it and check out these cost reductions. So first thing we're going to be looking at is the Seraph and Baleful changes. Most of the stuff is kind of insignificant, just a little bit of the materials being changed, just a little bit of a reduction. The biggest thing is really the transformation stones and the legendary elements. So you'll see from stage 7 to stage 12 of Seraph and Baleful, whatever weapon you got, costs us a total of 26 transformation stones and 55 legendary elements. Both of these are going to be completely removed, so you don't have to spend either of these, which is a huge gold saving. Like, legendary elements are 10 gold a piece. You have to go in the Trade Express, buy them for 10 gold a piece, or you'll have to trove for them and get a lot from the trove. Both of these are not optimal ways for a new player to get them, and then you're going to need a ton of them for either Raven or Riftwalk, whatever weapon path you go. So having to spend 55 just to get to Seraph or Baleful stage 12 is really damn expensive. So I'm actually glad they're completely removing that. So if you do have legendary elements, you can save them for your Raven upgrades and stuff like that. So it's going to help out a lot of new players. Really like that. And then the transformation stones, these are around 10, 11 gold a piece. So again, you're saving over 200 gold just from this change alone. So really like these cost reductions to Seraph and Baleful. You know, there's going to be a lot of new players coming with the Warden class release. So this is going to help them upgrade their new weapon really fast. And honestly, at this point, everyone should be past Seraph and Baleful. It's just it's such a low tier weapon nowadays that it really should be super easy to upgrade, and I'm glad they're doing this because now it's really freaking easy to upgrade. So now we'll check out some of the Raven cost reductions. So if you want to go into Raven stage 1, 2, or 3, they are adding some stuff to the recipe, so you'll have to spend 225 soulstone crystals if you want to go into any of the stages. Also, the moonstone crystals are going to be added. They're going to be increased to 65 instead of 50 right now. I really don't like that change, just because I feel like the last thing you should be doing is increasing the amount of moonstone crystals you need to upgrade a weapon, just because moonstone crystals are already a pain to get, but they are increasing that. One thing I do like though is they're adding sacred crystals to the recipe. So Raven's going to have sacred crystals in their upgrade materials now. And I really like that, because if you're like myself who went, Raven into Aransu and all that, you have a ton of sacred crystals left over, because the only weapon path that uses them is Riftwalk. And so, Riftwalk and Dawnforged. So literally you have a ton of leftover ones. Like myself, I have almost 5,000 sacred crystals, because I just keep getting them from the daily challenge and daily dungeons, and then I literally don't spend them on anything. So I'm glad they're incorporating that, because now you actually can use them for both weapon paths. So it's going to be a total of 160 of those. Elysium crystals are getting reduced by 10. Legendary elements, they're getting reduced by 10 too. Like that a lot. Transformation stones, no longer will you have to spend any transformation stones, so all 10 of those will be removed for all the paths. 1, 2, and 3 of Raven. The only thing left over is Empyrean Spirit Stones. They are going to be still in the recipe, so you'll still have to spend 180, 190 gold on that, which is unfortunate, but still some pretty decent cost reductions. But they also added some materials like the Soulstone crystals and the increase in Moonstone crystals that I really don't like that much, but overall not too bad. Alright, so the paths for Raven, they're getting some reductions too, but they also are getting increased in materials and new materials, just like going into Raven. So the Soulstone crystals, those are going to be added for all the stages. Sacred crystals, those are going to be added too. And then also Moonstone crystals are going to be increased. So that's kind of unfortunate. For some of the lower tier stages, right now they're 20, going to be increased to 40. The stages that are at 40 right now, Moonstone crystals, those are going to be increased to 55. And then the higher tier stages like 7 to 8 and then 8 to 9 have 65. Those are going to be increased to 90 Moonstone crystals. So overall, it's a pretty big increase to Moonstone crystals. Honestly, you're going to be spending probably well over 100 Moonstone crystals total extra just from this patch. So I really don't like that a lot. Again, as I said, I just feel like Moonstone crystals, it's kind of like the last material you should be increasing, just because it's such a pain to get. But they are doing that, so that's going to kind of suck. But besides that, again, I do like that they're doing the sacred crystals and all that. Legendary elements, they are reducing all of those, so this is great. So for some of the higher tier stages, like right here, they're 30. Those are going to be reduced down to 15. And then for some of the stages that are like at 25, those are going to be reduced down to 10. So again, it's a nice cost reduction to the legendary elements. Besides that, most of it is really just the same. Premium transformation stones, you still have to spend a total of 8. For the higher tier stages is 2. For the lower tier stages is 1 for each upgrade. So those are all going to stay the same, no cost reductions on those. And then the transformation stones are nearly all the same. The only thing that got changed is 1 into 2, and then 2 into 3, those got some reductions just because they're pretty expensive in the transformation stones. But really besides that, most of Raven is the same. Just a lot of added materials and a few little reductions. But overall, you know, nothing too crazy for Raven. Just going to be actually kind of pretty more expensive in my opinion. But besides that, you know, let's check out some of the other paths. So if you want to go into Riftwalk or Dawnforged, there's going to be some reductions to that. So stages 1, 2, and 3 are going to get some actually nice reductions. So the transformation stones for all these paths are going to be reduced to 0. You no longer have to spend any transformation stones. Also, the Empyrean Spirit Stones are going to be completely removed, unlike Raven. So this is really nice. You know, no longer have to spend any Empyrean Stones or Transformation Stones. Of course, the legendary elements got reduced from 20 to 5, a really nice reduction there. Overall, right here, I mean, just going into Riftwalk and Dawnforged now is going to be cheaper than Raven because they removed that Empyrean Spirit Stone. But right now, if you want to go Rift and Dawn Stage 3 to Stage 9, it costs a total of 12 Premium Transformation Stones compared to Raven, which only costs 8. So you're spending an additional 1,600 gold to go this path. And after this update, we're going to get some nice reductions to that. All the Premium Transformation Stones are going to be completely removed. All of them. So all these stages are no longer cost any premium stones. This is a huge cost reduction. You're saving a ton of gold by them doing this. To try to counteract that, they are adding transformation stones, but really it's not that much. Even for the higher tier stages like 7 to 8 and 8 to 9, they're only adding 20 transformation stones. So that's really only like 200 something gold compared to having to spend 800 gold. Like, it's a big cost reductions. And some of the lower tier stages are only around 10. Compared to spending 800 gold, you're only spending around 100 for the transformation stones. I'll take that trade any day of the week. So these are some huge cost reductions. I can't say that enough. This is big. Besides that, unlike Raven, they're actually reducing the moonstone crystals. So some of the moonstone crystals are getting some really big reductions. So for example, if you want to go 7 to 8, it costs a total of 100 moonstone crystals, and then 8 to 9, another 100. That's a lot to try to save up and get. Now they're going to be reduced by half, so you only have to spend 50 and 50 for these stages. So these are big cost reductions to Raven and also the premium stones. Also, you know, just like all the other weapons, the legendary elements are getting reduced by a lot, down to 10 for most of the stages. 15 for the lower, not lower, but higher tier stages are getting reduced down to 15. So overall, Rift and Dawn is looking like a really great path because the amount of gold you're saving is going to be a lot compared to Raven, where you're looking at, you're still spending premium transformation stones, 800 gold here, where here you only have to spend 20 transformation stones and it'll no longer cost any premium stones. So really big Rift and Dawn cost reductions with this upcoming patch. So let's say you went Riftwalk or Dawnforged Stage 9 and now you're at Storm Dragon Stage 3 or Zao Stage 3. These got some nice cost reductions too, so if you want to go up to Stage 6, right now it costs 9 premium transformation stones. Again, just like Rift and Dawn, they're going to be completely removed. No longer going to cost any premium stones. They're going to be replaced with transformation stones. So for some of the higher tier stages, they cost 3. For these two stages, they cost a total of 3 each. So basically what they're doing is no longer going to cost these 3. They're just going to cost 30 transformation stones. So again, you're looking at around 300 something gold for the 30 transformation stones compared to like 1200 gold from the premium stones. Again, this is all if you're just buying it off the marketplace, of course. But again, you're going to be saving a lot of gold from doing these cost reductions. So I like this a lot. Again, like all the weapons are getting reductions in their legendary elements. Always like that. One thing I will mention is the blood pearls. They're not getting reduced at all, which is kind of unfortunate because it's actually kind of hard to get these just because for the endgame soul, like Tiger Soul and stuff like that, you need blood pearls, which means a lot of the endgame whales bid a lot for these. Usually they go for around at least like 50 gold, sometimes even up to like 100 gold, which is really expensive when you need 78 of them. So it's still kind of a pain to get those, but overall it's just going to make it a little bit easier if you want to go this path. Shout out to all my destroyers out there. I know you guys are jumping for joy. If you guys don't know, a lot of destroyers go Storm Dragon path, so this is actually going to help them out a lot. They're definitely very, very happy right now. Really quickly for the Aransu stage, they actually got some cost reductions. Finally got some cost reductions. I've been begging NCSoft for some for quite a while now. Every patch they kept reducing Raven. I'm just like, please reduce Aransu a little bit. It's too expensive for some of the paths. So they finally listened. So some of the things they're doing is the premium stones. They're going to be reducing those. So right now it costs us 3 for some of the lower tier stages. If you want to go 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 stages. Now they're going to be down to only 1. So that's a nice little gold saving there. For some of the higher tier stages, they are reducing it again by 1. So they cost 3 right here. They're going to be down to 2 premium stones. Little cost reductions, but I mean, just 1 is 400 gold you're saving. So these are nice cost reductions that are going to help. Transformation stones are getting reduced by 10 for some of the lower tier stages. Like they cost 30 right here. They're going to be reduced down to only 20. Again, legendary elm is getting reduced. Another really big thing I am super happy about, ecstatic about, is the moonstone crystal reduction. If you look right here, it's 1,800 total from stage 3 to 9. That is ridiculous. That is super freaking expensive. Like, trying to get 1,800 moonstone crystals, like, you either gotta spam 6v6 like every single day, or you gotta freaking do like Natsun Mushin's tower like 10 hours a day every single day for months. Like, it's going to take freaking forever. So this is really great. So what they're doing is some of the higher tier stages, for example, they cost a total of 300 for these stages. They're going to be reduced down to only 150. And then some of the lower tier stages, they're going to be reduced down to like 105, 110 instead of 300. So these are nice cost reductions that are going to be saving you a lot of moonstone crystals. Really, with all these cost reductions, it seems like they're trying to bring back the PvE side and make it relevant again, like Riftwalk and Dawnforged, Storm Dragon, Xyled, all these paths. Because honestly, for quite a while, Raven has been the dominant path to go. You just literally, Raven is not only a stronger weapon, but also a cheaper path right now. So everyone just goes Raven, and then majority of classes just go straight into Aransu 3. So really, honestly, with this patch, they're just trying to bring back these paths and make it so you have choices. So it's like, you know, if you want to go Rift and Dawn, you actually can. It's not going to be breaking your bank. You can go these paths now if you want to have different options. And I like this a lot because I feel like there should be choices. Really just kind of restoring balance to the weapon paths. And I like this a lot. And, you know, now you can kind of pick what you want to go. So if you never want to go Raven, you never have to. So a lot of different choices for new players, just anyone in general. I really like these cost reductions, as I said. A lot of other quality of life changes too with this patch I'll definitely go over soon. Next video I'll probably put out is the gem changes. I want to go over that in detail too. Anyways, I appreciate you guys watching this video if you watched it all the way through. Thank you guys for checking it out, and let me know if you're excited about these cost reductions.